Plus, focus shifts to Kenya. Is the country ready to deal with the new virus? WHO issues warning.
We call on all countries to implement decisions that are evidence-based and consistent.
And suspects of the Salai Dam tragedy are free. Court blames DPP's office for collapse of the case.
Some of the individuals were compromised.
Also ahead, where is the honey?
Madam Governor, were you given 12 million shillings?
You see, they got about 30 million.
Legislators demand piece of the BBI pie.
Live from Nation Center, this is NTV Tonight with Smriti Vidyarthi and Mark Masai.
Flora Atieno joins us in sign language interpretation. Tonight, the country is just settling into some devastating news. 13 pupils dead in a stampede at the Kakamega Primary School and many more nursing injuries in hospital.
Here's an overwhelming introduction to the deaths at the school. The incident happened at 5 p.m. earlier today when the bell rang, apparently signifying the end of classes, as would be in many schools.
Well, the pupils are said to have dashed out of class and 13 of them fell to their deaths. Police are now at the school interrogating the teachers and the minders of these young ones aged just between 10 and 12 to understand exactly what happened.
And yes, indeed, the Ministry of Education is getting to the bottom of this, as a message of condolence was sent out earlier by the CS George Magoha to the families of those who lost their children. And the number there, at least at the time they tweeted this, was 13. And there are reports that maybe that number has gone up because there were at least 40 others who were injured and receiving treatment. And they say that is the Basic Education PS Belio Kipsang has traveled to the site. And we also have our very own Oko Kusa and Zacchaeus Mwasame who have traveled to the site to give us the latest.
That's right. We will get more information from them. Let's hand over now to Zacchaeus Mwasame. What can you tell us at this point?
All right, Smriti, we are coming to you live from the Kakamega Referral Hospital here in Kakamega County, where the tragedy, those who survived the tragedy have been brought here for medication. We do understand that at least 13 have died and are at the mortuary already. Those who died are students of Class 5 at the Kakamega Primary School. We do understand that earlier on there was a stampede at the primary school that cost the lives of these young kids. And according to a doctor who sought anonymity, says that most of these children died because of suffocation as a result of that commotion. You don't understand that the building that was hosting them is a storied building. Therefore, as they were stepping down to go home, there was that stampede, and then it led to the commotion that led to the deaths of these young children. We have two, as we are speaking, there are two at the ICU who are receiving medication, and then the other one at the general ward, that is Ward 5 here at the Kakamega Referral Hospital. Now, we are also keen to understand exactly what have led to the deaths. The parents are saying that maybe there was some sort of, the children were running away from a punishment.
All right, Zacchaeus Mwasame, they're coming to us live from the Kakamega Referral Hospital. We'll connect once again with him as soon as we can. But what you're seeing on your screens are shots and footage from earlier in the day when that incident occurred, or rather just after that incident occurred. You can see emergency services were at the scene, distraught and panicked parents on the ground carrying their children and their loved ones. Really, Mark, a horrific afternoon or evening for these families, and really a shocker to the nation at large.
That's right. I mean, at this point in the night or the day, they would expect, of course, to be putting their children to sleep. And this would not be the end of the day that they were looking forward to, definitely. And yes, the questions as to why they would be running out of class at 5 p.m. For no apparent reason and leading to a stampede and this very unfortunate death of at least 13 of the pupils is what many are asking. And just before we lost the signal there from Zacchaeus Masami, Kakamega Referral Hospital, there have been some accounts by some parents that they suspect they could have been running away from a particular punishment from one or two teachers, and that's one angle that they're pursuing, but we are yet to verify this. And others just saying that they ran out of class, and he's just clarified that these were class 5 pupils from the Kakamega Primary School who have passed away, and 2 at the ICU.
That's right. Investigations are currently ongoing. We also have reports that this school is one of the best in the counties, but its downfall is that it was hugely populated. The numbers we're getting are that it had 3,000 pupils. That is a huge number. So the facility definitely was jam-packed, and at the time hundreds of students were trying to make a run for something. As we said, what they were running from or to is yet to be verified, and we'll bring you that information as soon as we get it.
Word from the Ministry of Education, they are the ones who will definitely need to be giving more answers, as the PS for Basic Education, Belio Kipsang, has made his way to the site, that is to Kakamega Primary School, and we believe the CS George Magoa will be following either this evening or tonight or tomorrow morning, just to make sure that their presence is felt there as the leaders of the education sector. And yes, you brought up the issue of a capacity and the number of children in a particular school. Now, this is one of the best in the area, and what this says about the others in Kakamega and around the country in terms of the capacity and how many students are meant to be in a particular classroom, so that you could be able to avoid such occurrences, is definitely one of the things that they will be pursuing. And but first things first, the parents want to know why their children, who were under the care of their parents, of their teachers in this particular school, came to harm's way and are not at home safe, perhaps even having their meal before going to sleep.
Yeah, so those are some pictures earlier coming to you on your screen. As we get more, we will of course share them with you, but at this point, those are the latest details that we're able to share with you. 13 dead, and at the moment we have reports that the majority of them died due to suffocation during that commotion that took place after the stampede. And our heartfelt condolences go out to those families affected.
Yes, and we will of course also be trying to get through to the CS Magoha this evening. We haven't been very lucky in being able to get a formal statement from them, and even the school, but they would want to have the ministry deal with this particular issue in terms of giving the answers. But even one child is one too many. So the number being at 13 and the fear of that death toll rising, we have 2 who are in the ICU department, then there is a big concern as to what will also happen to the others who are receiving treatment. We had a number of about 40 others who were injured. You see some of them in this shot being taken to the ambulance or just to be given first aid. Those distraught kids right there that you can see from the shock that they definitely face, these poor kids from that particular incident at 5 p.m. earlier today. Right,
we can now reconnect with Zacchaeus Mwasame, who joins us now on phone from the Kakamega Referral Hospital. Kakamega, beg your pardon, Zacchaeus, we lost you for a moment, but before we got cut off, you were telling us what some parents are suspecting. What have they told you?
All right, thank you so much, Smriti. We actually have had an opportunity to talk to some of the parents of these students who, some of them have lost their lives, and they say that it is unfortunate they were not there, but what they have been told from some of the students is that it was a stampede that was caused because of the commotion. Now, the classroom that these kids were in is a storied building, Smriti. And you do understand that they were actually hurrying to leave that classroom one of the parents says one of the kids had some sort of a strange voice from somebody. There are those who say that it was a teacher who was asking them to leave the classroom in a hurry. And then, they are talking of the evil spirit, but that is not something that we cannot substantiate. But then, this teacher that they say that was asking them to leave made them freeze and leave in a hurry. And then that led to the stampede that has now cost the lives of these young ones. We have also talked to the doctors who have been attending to these kids, and they say that the deaths that have occurred are usually and largely due to suffocation of the young ones. So it is an issue that we are still following up. We are waiting for the hospital administration to give us an official update later. We also do understand that a number of leaders are also camping outside this facility to get information. An information center has been set up already here outside the hospital where the parents who are searching for the young ones will be going to report those who have already found them. And we do understand that already around 4 parents who have positively identified their children at the mortuary have already reported there. Therefore, we are keeping an eye to just make sure that we keep you and give you an update of everything that happens in regards to this particular tragedy that has caused the lives of 13 young children in Kakamega Primary.
All right, Mosame, thanks very much for that update. More from you as and when you get further information. Zacchaeus Mosame coming to us live on phone from the Kakamega Referral Hospital, saying that an information center has been set up outside the hospital. And also some parents have been saying that well, there could have been a teacher that triggered those children to run fast out of the classroom. But
yes. Yes, and of course, right now, the accounts that we're having, we are just going by them from what we hear from the teachers. We're talking to our correspondent, that is Zacchaeus Mosame, and there must have been something that startled them. But now Kenmi Jungu pieces together, at least tries to piece together the details of the tragedy that has scarred this community and the country.
Tragedy struck at the stroke of 5 p.m. when the bell signified the end of the school day for the learners at the Kakamega Primary School. The pupils are said to have fallen down, and the rest of the details unfolded like a scene from hell. The other pupils, panicking upon hearing what some described as a loud thud, continued the dash out of class, oblivious of what had happened. Those at the front had stopped on witnessing the fall, but they could not withstand the pressure from the surging numbers of rushing pupils, said to have been more than 300. 13 children were killed in the stampede. There are fears that the numbers could rise overnight as 10 more were nursing injuries, some critical and in hospital.
Watoto wenzetu wamekufa. Watoto 14, watoto 9 wasichana. Ni uchungu.
Kakamega Primary is one of the top performing schools from the region and has a student population of 3,000. It has also one of the best infrastructure in the region. Western Region Police Commander Peres Kimani said 20 pupils had been treated at the County's General and Referral Hospital and discharged.
Ikawa ni msukumano mtoto anakufa. Hiyo ndio imetushangaza kwa sababu hawa watoto wanapitia hapo kila siku. Si ndio mara ya kwanza. Si ati wamepitia hapo mara ya kwanza ndio wakakufa. Ni mahali wanapitia kila siku.
Distraught parents visited the school minutes after receiving word of the incident to check on their sons and daughters who left home earlier in the morning. Majority of those who succumbed to the injuries were girls. Speaking to NTV, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha described the incident as shocking and unfortunate. He said the government will look into the incident. Police say they are looking into what exactly could have happened. Ken Mijungu, NTV.
We have Zacchaeus Mosame still standing by at Kakamega Referral Hospital for an update on this tragic story with the numbers that have been given so far. At least 13 pupils have been killed in this very sorry incident, and 2 are at ICU, and a little over 30 of them are being treated and have been injured. And actually now I'm being told it has been confirmed that the death toll has risen to 14. Oko Kusa is also headed to the Kakamega Primary School to give us an update from there.
All right, we'll bring you more on that story as and when we can. But also tonight, two other stories making headlines, and we're reporting on another sickening state of affairs in the wake of the global health emergency brought about by the novel coronavirus outbreak. Now, the saying goes, when China sneezes, the world catches a cold. And this time it's of a different strain, but the Ministry of Health seems to be responding to it like a common flu, and in some instances using what seems to be rudimentary means.
For the past week, since the first suspected case of coronavirus was reported in the country, the Ministry of Health has been addressing the issue through statements, giving the impression of an ill-prepared government. Numbers have been thrown about, giving little confidence to count on. Even though Kenya Airways flights to China were cancelled, the China Southern Airlines has still been landing at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport.
Well, one of the questions is, are we safe? And in the event of an imported case of the novel coronavirus, can we contain and control it? Well, so far, Kenya needs a more direct message, and from no less than perhaps the head of state, as is the case elsewhere in the world.
May this message get to him even in the United States, where he's at right now. In the meantime, the Ministry of Health, in yet another statement this evening, says all of the suspected cases of the coronavirus have turned out negative, even as the global death toll rose to 362. NTV's Brenda Wanga reports that Kenya and Africa is grappling with preparedness and testing protocols for the novel coronavirus strain.
Kenya has been hit by the coronavirus scare 3 times but survived. 3 passengers traveling from China on diverse dates and presenting flu-like symptoms have had samples taken and tested according to the Ministry of Health and found to be negative, an obvious relief to a country that seems ill-prepared for the virus that is spreading faster than a cure can be found.
We have not reported a death, and I pray we don't report a death. So our behavior and response will be different.
While the negative results may give the government some breathing room, concerns are now being raised about the caliber of testing taking place. Sources indicate that the lab carrying out the test in South Africa is still trying to set up a specific novel coronavirus test, but it could take as long as 2 weeks to get it up and running, which means that the tests being carried out are currently for all non-respiratory viruses and not the new novel coronavirus strand. As it stands, the disease has now affected 17,485 people across 24 countries with 362 fatalities, and the only death reported outside China happening yesterday in the Philippines.
Currently, we are under total lockdown.
While Kenya keeps her fingers crossed that the disease will give it a wide berth, there are still concerns about the handling of the scares thus far. The World Health Organization recommends that one who is suspected of having been exposed needs to be quarantined for at least 12 days. It remains unclear if this is being observed here.
We call on all countries to implement decisions that are evidence-based and consistent. WHO stands ready to provide advice to any country that's considering which measures to take.
The fate of Kenyan students in Wuhan and China still remains tied to their host country as Kenya maintains its stand of a non-evacuation policy. South Africa too has warned its students against attempting to leave Wuhan. Other countries, however, are evacuating their people from the epicenter of the disease outbreak, but under stringent precautions. Protective gear for both the travelers and the health and airport staff, and straight into quarantines to manage the possibilities of a spread. Meanwhile, in China, Wuhan, efforts to construct yet another mega hospital are underway as the burden of the disease and the strain on the existing facilities threatens to overwhelm the responders. Brenda Wanga, NTV.
Now, eyes remain on this particular story and all developments therein, and definitely we will keep challenging the Ministry of Health to come out directly and give an address to the nation on the status quo. The statements would not suffice as of now to give confidence. And yes, just a quick correction, it is that the flights, the KQ flights to China, to Guangzhou, were suspended and not cancelled. But yes, for all the understandable reasons.
That's right. Right, elsewhere now, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nurdin Haji, says that he is shocked by the acquittal of 9 suspects who had been charged with manslaughter.
It was in connection with the death of 48 people who lost their lives after a dam collapsed on them in Solai, Nakuru County. Haji denied accusations that the evidence was not sufficient and insisted that his office will present the case afresh. Here's NTV's Sharon Baranga with more.
The 48 people died in May 2018 after a dam collapsed, killing and displacing a number of people in Solai, Nakuru County. The victims lived a few kilometers from the dam in downhill villages. Today at Naivasha Law Courts, Chief Magistrate Kennedy Bidali acquitted the 9 people who were charged with manslaughter. The decision upset some of the victims of the Solai Dam tragedy who are following the court proceedings. The victims accused the DPP Nurdin Haji of failing to prosecute the case properly. Haji denied the allegations while the magistrate blamed the office of the State Counsel. He said it had been months since the case started with little progress, adjournments being the order of the day.
Ingawa wastakiwa wako na haki ya kesi yao kuamiliwa kwa haraka iwezekanavyo, pia waadhiriwa wako na haki ya kupata haki yao vilivyo. Hapa ninaona DPP anauza waadhiriwa.
Inatufiriwa namna gani na hatujapata haki yetu, na ni kitu inajulikana ni dunia mzima. Hiyo sio ati ya kisinisini.
As counsels for the victims, we take issue with that ruling in the fact that, one, the number of applications made before the court, specifically one on that representation, has not been handled yet. Second, there had been indications before court and also made by the accused persons, his lawyers, that they had gone to explore plea bargain, a question which has not been reported before court.
Nurdin says he is equally shocked by the decision of the courts to acquit the suspects. He, however, denied claims that his office frustrated the case and that the evidence was not enough. State Counsel Catherine Mwaniki said they will be heading to court to appeal the ruling.
We are really puzzled with some of these issues. This particular case, we've been struggling for over 18 months to move it from Naivasha because of this very reason. Because according to us, some of the individuals were compromised, whether within the judiciary or the police or the provincial administration and even some of the prosecutors. And that's why we had prosecutors coming from Nairobi who were not based in that particular jurisdiction. Yet they kept on insisting, prosecuting and listening to this matter in Naivasha.
In the case, the owner of the farm, Peri Manusukh Kanasagara, and 8 others were charged with 48 counts of manslaughter on July 2018 in Solai, Nakuru County, and failing to prepare an environmental impact assessment report. Sharon Baranga, NTV.
Ousted Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu's challenge to the installation of James Nyoro as the new county boss suffered a major blow after the High Court declined his request to stop his successor from naming a deputy.
Waititu wants the Constitutional and Judicial Review Division of the High Court to declare his dramatic impeachment an illegality. Seth Olale has those details.
I, James Karanja Nyoro.
A new governor has taken charge in Kiambu, but Waititu is fighting on, maintaining that he is still the legitimate county boss until his case is heard and determined. He now wants the new governor stopped from naming a deputy.
Be sworn in through an illegal process, which we are challenging, and then proceed to exercise all powers under the sun.
And it cannot be trivialized by assumption of office that is illegally procured.
Respondents in the application who include Kiambu County Assembly, Speaker of the Kiambu County Assembly, Senate, Speaker of the Senate, Kiambu County Government, and Kiambu Governor James Nyoro all opposed Waititu's request.
There is no reason why there is no formal application before you to expressly seek that order.
Justice James Makau of the Constitutional and Judicial Review Division of the High Court rejected Waititu's request to stop the new governor from naming his deputy.
I find that the petitioner has not demonstrated a prima facie case
to warrant granting of the prayer sought under prayer number 11 and 12.
The mention of the initial petition filed last week seeking to overturn Waititu's impeachment will be heard on 27th February, with the petitioner ordered to formally file any amendments.
The embattled and ousted governor will also appear at the Anti-Corruption Court on Tuesday for the ruling of an application where he seeks to have 2 witness statements expunged from his corruption case. Seth Olale, NTV, at the Milimani Law Courts, Nairobi.
From Seth's report, we take a quick break here on NTV tonight. Just a reminder on our top story, the tragedy there at Kakamega Primary School with the death toll now at 14 children have been killed.
That's right. We have our man on the ground, that's Zacchaeus Mwasama. He is at the Kakamega Referral Hospital. He had an opportunity to speak to some parents and also doctors who said that a lot of the children died from suffocation, and 2 were in ICU and 1 was in the general ward at the time of speaking to him. And also NTV's Oko Okusa will be at the Kakamega Primary School. We'll get a hold of him after this break. Stay with us. There's lots more to come.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
Welcome home to Amani Ridge, the place of peace. Your own urban sanctuary. A lifestyle waiting for you just 20 kilometers from the CBD. A place to unwind and get your health and fitness goals attained. A secure place for your family. A place for your children to have fun. A place to enjoy a sundowner. Success just doesn't happen. You have to make it happen. Make the impossible possible. Invest in Amani Ridge, the place of peace. Luxury you can afford. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
With Lipa na M-Pesa, you get more, and now you can win. Lipa na M-Pesa. There are surprise gifts to 8 customers every minute. Tractors with extras. Lipa na M-Pesa. Plus 6 apartments to be given away. Make payments via M-Pesa Buy Goods or Pay Bill. Every 100 shillings spent on Lipa na M-Pesa earns you an entry into the draw. Do more with Lipa na M-Pesa.
Heaviness and a burning inside, it could be heartburn.
Kiungulia na kuvimbiwa? Ino inatibu ndani ya sekunde 6 na inatuliza dalili 6 za kiungulia. Kwa hivyo unaweza kuburudika bila kikomo. Ino, tibu haraka kiungulia na tumbo kuvimba.
Meru County Government brings you the first ever Mount Kenya Mountain Running Championship on 22nd February 2020. Come run for a cause to fight cancer, boost environmental conservation, and promote Meru County as a tourist destination. The proceeds from this run go towards the building of the first ever Cancer Institute in Meru Level 5, which will be used to do research on cancer, create awareness, advise on preventive measures, offer diagnosis and treatment. Register to be part of the event at www.mountkenyarun.co.ke. Challenging the heights.
I am pleased by just the simple little things of life. And I promise if you take the time, you won't be looking for too long before you find this little secret of mine.
Uko na msichana wa kazi?
Niko naye, mbona unauliza?
Ndinda, unataka kuniambia unakunywa pombe kwa nyumba yangu? Toka.
You mean to say that I am suffering from postpartum depression? Yes.
Wewe ni jina nani unashout hivyo?
Ai, sasa juko na gari sitajwe jina.
Hata sio yake. Hata sio yake.
Karibu kutoroka uone. Kutoroka uone. Hebu toa mshipi na kiatu.
Welcome back, and our focus is on the BBI. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has warned politicians implicated in graft that it's coming for them whether they support the BBI or not.
That's right. The EACC Commissioner Dabar Malim said that the war on graft had been plagued by politics and warned that not even aligning with the president and getting on board the BBI train would save anyone on their radar.
As the Constitution indicates, we are independent, and if we are working ethically, then ourselves must work ethically. And I don't think really there is a tendency to what you call lean towards that. Today you are BBI supporter, you are in safe haven, and tomorrow I am not sure really what would we spare if we have already had a hand in the way the county where the president comes and the city of Nairobi. Yeah. Whether they are in Camp X or Y, that's not our issue. Our issue is have public resources been misused.
Wonder which politician is being targeted with that message.
Well, we will just wait and find out. Now, just how much money is being spent on the Building Bridges Initiative public rallies? Well, very little, according to Raila Odinga, but the battles over cash by politicians suggest otherwise.
A case in point, Kitui MPs accusing Governor Charity Ngilu of denying them access to millions they say were released to the three Ukambani counties.
NTV senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi looks into the fight for the BBI millions.
What kind of money is involved in organizing the countrywide BBI rallies? And actually, who is in charge of these rallies? These are just some of the questions being asked as a bitter fallout emerges over how much money Governor Charity Ngilu was given by the state to organize the Lower Eastern BBI rally hosted in Kitui on Saturday. Two Kitui MPs want Governor Ngilu to come clean and declare how much money she was given to mobilize the three counties in Ukambani.
When she was contacted, she said she doesn't have money. She only had 5.6 million shillings, and so she would not involve members of parliament in the mobilization. I'm just asking, Madam Governor, were you given 12 million shillings? How did you spend it? Those are very simple, basic questions. I don't see why anybody would have a problem responding to that.
In demanding their share, the MPs who said they represent others not with them claim that Governor Ngilu was given enough money for MPs and MCAs in the three counties to mobilize for the meeting, but she made a different choice.
A budget is done now where you call the people involved in the planning. If this I have in mind, we should have called the MCRs, we should have called the MPs, we should have called the senators, the three senators from the region, and the women rep from the region. And then we come and say, this is the kind of budget we have. How much goes to Kitui County? How much goes to Machakos County? How much goes to Makueni County? And then since we are elected, I'm sure none of you would disagree with me when I say every elected leader would want to be involved in this mobilization.
But in a quick rejoinder, Governor Ngilu has hit out at the MPs, accusing them of spreading propaganda aimed at discrediting the meeting, which she says was a huge success. In a statement to newsrooms, Ngilu claims the former vice president, the senator and a number of Wiper and Jubilee MPs allied to Tanga received 20 million shillings from their master. This money was, among other unholy activities, to be used to mobilize youths to disrupt the BBI public forum in Kitui, something they strongly attempted through Honorable Moses Kuria, Senator Murkomen, and others.
When you're discussing about money, there must be somebody who has given out that money in this country. There must be somebody. And that can't be, even somebody cannot say how much they gave out.
With the realization that the Building Bridges Initiative sensitization rallies are fully funded by the government, members of parliament now want a piece of that cake, as they do say that there is so much money that is being given to governors and they are not sharing.
If you go to other regions, we were told Kisii they got about 30 million, but those were many counties. We are only 3 counties in Western. So the budget would differ from one region to another based on the number of counties which are going to participate in that region.
The Kitui BBI rally was the 4th since such meetings started, and the story has been the same in other regions. Kennedy Muredi, NTV.
To the fight on graft, and the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nurdin Haji, is once again accusing the judiciary of perpetrating impunity for shielding suspects accused of grave crimes, including graft.
Haji says a section of judges and magistrates has been frustrating justice by releasing suspects, especially those with wealth and influence, on friendly terms. Kevin Mutai spoke to him in Mombasa and sheds more light on his frustration with the slowing down war on graft.
The judiciary is once again facing accusations of removing the cogs from the back wheels of the justice system, slowing down efforts to prosecute accused persons. The latest criticism comes from no less than the Director of Public Prosecutions, who has suffered a number of setbacks in court. The DPP claims some within the judiciary had been compromised and had shady dealings with the corrupt.
It is certain individuals and not the whole of the judiciary. And I think you've had quite a number of people complaining about this, including the retired Chief Justice Mutunga, commenting on this. And the fact that what we are trying to do in essence is to try and protect the image of the judiciary. Because if you do not have a judiciary that has a good image and that has the confidence of the public, then we all suffer, including prosecutors and the police, because then what are we doing? It is a waste of time.
Haji says the war on graft and any forms of wrongdoing was on course, but expressed his dissatisfaction with the bail terms that the court has been imposing on suspects accused of grave crimes.
As ODPP, we are not going to give up. We are going to still insist that governors step aside and that bail terms and court orders are obeyed, even if they are ridiculous, like the Babu Owino one. We find that it is, but we are respecting it, and everybody has to do that.
The judiciary has often defended itself against accusations that it was the weakest link in the fight against graft.
To serve the country with dedication. To serve the country with dedication, as Justice Saganyanya did, so that when our time comes, if we are not there, people will say, so and so entertained no corruption.
The DPP has in the meantime directed police to take statements from all persons involved in the dispute over a piece of land in Kanamai, Kilifi County, including politicians. Kevin Mutai, NTV, Mombasa.
Now, as the country marks the World Cancer Day tomorrow, Margaret Waweru knows only too well just where that shoe pinches.
Having conquered breast cancer in the 90s, only for it spread and developed to stage 4 lung cancer, she made a choice to fight it and give hope to others like her through Cancer Survivors Africa.
22 years later, her story resonates with the World Cancer Day theme, that is, I am and I will. Gladys Kashanja shares her story on the first day of our week-long Cancer Dialogue.
I was diagnosed with stage 2B of breast cancer in 1997, and I was operated at PCA Kikuyu Hospital. And then I underwent the chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and then treatment of 5 years. By then, dawa ilikuwa tamoxifen, which did me well. Come 2010, I started like coughing. I go to various doctors, wengine wanasema ni asthma. So I take dawa za asthma na maliza, and then another one ni TB, nachukua hiyo. And then I found myself in India, Apollo Hospital. This is when, after going through the PET scan, they realized that the lungs had cancer and the other breast had cancer, the diaphragm, the neck and the throat. So they operated on the lungs and the breast Fortunately, this time I did not lose the other breast. I was told, sorry to tell you, you're stage 4. The rest of the cancer, the throat and the diaphragm and the neck, these were reduced through chemotherapy. I'm on treatment. Every day I take a tablet and also the supplements. To manage cancer is not a one-time thing. It's a journey and it is costly. The NHIF, locally it's helping, because I remember on the MRI 3 years ago, it helped. But when you talk about the PET scan, not that one. Treatment, no. The drugs, yeah, it's a big issue. It's a big issue. And also, even the availability of drugs. You may want that one. Like the one I'm taking, it is not found in any chemist. So at times you may go and request the particular chemist to order it for you. After mastectomy, sasa you stay without the breast. Kwa hivyo una assume everybody, even before the prosthesis, unaona everybody anajua you don't have a, yeah. Ukiona watu wanakaa chini wawili, they are talking about you. So this is how we started the psychosocial support group, Cancer Survivor Africa. We requested Kikuyu Hospital to give us a space. We cry together. We give hope to one another. We hear story today. If a person who is newly diagnosed hears my story and says, oh, if Margaret made it, then I can make it.
I am and I will. Well put out there in the life of Margaret Waweru, who has shared her journey. It's been 22 years and she's standing strong. Thank you for sharing your story and giving hope.
What a fighter she is. All right, at this point, it's time to take a break on NTV. Tonight, the business news with Julian Zamboko is coming up, so don't go far.
Sensitivity is a short, sharp pain that people experience when they have something hot or cold getting to the nerve of the tooth, causing that discomfort. If the sensitivity is left alone, it may get worse. Dentists recommend Sensodyne to their patients. It's able to get inside the tooth and calm the nerve of the tooth down, and the proof's in the results. It works.
Kwa majina ni Shida Gesanda. Mimi ni mchezaji tu. Ndoto yangu mimi iko nitachezea Harambee Starlets, niende ngambo. Nikirudi nitasaidia mamangu kwa shida. Na ninaona hii ndoto itaanza na Betika na community.
Hii timu yenye hii msichana yangu anachezea, tulianza tukiwa na maono, tunataka tukuze talents ya wasichana, sababu wasichana huwa wanabaki nyuma na wanaenda ma street.
We are very excited because every time we see the excited faces of the young players when they get their kids and their new balls, it gives us a urge to continue investing in the communities.
Betika na community iliongeza morali kwa timu ya Gusii Starlet mpaka wakapiwa mtu mabao 23. Tukiwa na Betika na community, hii timu itaenda mbali, itacheza premier na watoto watajisaidia.
Okash is the fastest and easiest way to apply for short-term loans from your mobile phone. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings instantly into your M-Pesa account and become a member of the Okash loyalty program to apply for discounted loans. Okash is an award-winning mobile loan service and is trusted by millions of Kenyans every day. Download the Okash application from Google Play Store and enjoy easy, safe and flexible way to apply for short-term loans. Welcome to the Okash experience.
Melissa? Mom, it's Dad's birthday today. I'm giving him a party just like he gives me.
Nothing makes a mother more proud than seeing her child growing up. But I know that as she learns to care for others, she'll face even more germs and the risk of illnesses.
That's why you need strong Dettol protection. Just 1 cup of Dettol protects your home and family from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Growing up needs Dettol protection.
Nakwambia bibi kuna mdenge fulani bibi hapo na nywele refu yani. Kuna ngoko fulani bibi amemechali yake hadi Sasa ndio maana nakutupinya mtu mbao. Mimi nimemjenga dhao gari ilikuwa salasa akaniambia nimjenge 17 hapa tena 30.
The way this position is tiring. Nimechoka.
Who's that? Ni shosho fulani hapa hivi.
Ati shosho.
Call for long at 1 shilling 50 cents to all networks.
Cartelo.
Dial star 544 hash to subscribe. Telkom, moving with you.
Welcome home to Amani Ridge, the place of peace. Your own urban sanctuary. A lifestyle waiting for you just 20 kilometers from the CBD. A place to unwind and get your health and fitness goals attained. A secure place for your family. A place for your children to have fun. A place to enjoy a sundowner. Success just doesn't happen. You have to make it happen. Make the impossible possible. Invest in Amani Ridge, the place of peace. Luxury you can afford. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit www.optivan.co.ke.
Your multi-bet is only trying to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
It is time to get down to business. Welcome, I am Julian Amboko. As the country plans its expenditure for the next financial year, small and medium-sized businesses are calling for greater efforts to ensure there is trickle-down of the benefits to ordinary citizens. We took to the streets to get a sense of the business environment and what analysts have to say about the state of affairs.
Our first encounter is with Charles Ngunjiri, a cobbler who has been in the trade for decades. He says the fortunes have taken a dip in the recent past.
Kazi ile ninafanya zamani ilikuwa inaligana na mahitaji. But nowadays hailingani. Haingine nilikuwa natapata kama kwa mfano kama 300, siku hizi napata 200.
Abigail Wakisha is a grocery operator and says her situation has not been starkly different from that being faced by many business operators who are complaining about the business environment.
Tuna struggle sana. Ndio tupate hizo pesa, we are really struggling. Wateja wanakuja though, wana complain because price kama vile ilikuwa before. Tumepandisha bei.
Betsy Cheptor is a barber and she says the tough economic times have been biting into her earnings.
2 years ago ilikuwa unaisanywa wateja kama 5, saizi unaisanywa kama 2, 1. For example, kuna mwenye alikuwa anakuja mara 2 kwa wiki, siku hizi anakuja mara 1.
Economic policy analysts are now calling for a change in the way the government designs its policy in a bid to ensure the growth dividends reach ordinary citizens at the bottom of the pyramid.
In a whole, it's just still the fact that most of this is actually just government recycling huge money from taxes, through debt, all the way back to this huge infrastructure. And of course, it registers on the growth side. So the growth is real. It's only that if you start your growth accounting, where is it really coming from? It's not coming from meaningful economic activity, except for government expenditure.
Kwame further argues that easing the tax burden would go a long way in ensuring many feel a trickle-down of the high growth being reported.
If you consider that for every 100 shillings of economic activity in Kenya in a year, close to 17 is actually government tax. And yet our income levels are this low. It tells you our rates are actually not low.
With the Kenya Revenue Authority faced with ambitious revenue targets, however, it is unlikely that the businesses will be afforded any relief on the tax front in the near term.
And elsewhere, it is a case of no respite for state-owned sugar millers, as those which are now clearing their arrears owed to farmers are grappling with shortage of cane for production. The managing director of Nzoia Sugar Company, Michael Wanjala, is now pleading with farmers not to abandon sugarcane farming, saying the company will henceforward pay for cane delivered to farmers within 30 days. The government has chipped in by providing funds to aid in the recovery of the miller, but the financing is less than half of what the farmers are owed. Nzoia Sugar is one of the struggling sugar millers slated for privatization, but the process has protracted for years.
I do know that while the Kenyan government helped me settle 153 million, I am aware that I have another 175 million of money that I owe to farmers. Mine is to give them my commitment that we are doing everything we can in a very systematic and organized manner to ensure that we are able to clear what we owe farmers. Supermarkets must be stopped from repackaging sugar that they have not manufactured.
And across the borders, the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, has this morning broken ground for the development of the organization's new headquarters in Djibouti. Victor Kiprop reports on the development of the project and the funding challenges likely to stand on its way.
The laying of the stone may have started the engine, but this multi-million-dollar project is not ready to take off just yet.
Those who want to build high must first dig deep.
At the groundbreaking ceremony in Djibouti this morning, the organization did not disclose just how much was needed for the project, but if the artist's illustration of the building is anything to go by, the 8 member states may need to dig deeper into their pockets to fund it.
I would like to call upon other IGAD member states, our partners, and world wishers to dig deep by contributing generously towards the construction of the new headquarters.
But there's a small catch. Lack of commitment and inadequate contribution from member states has been one of the major challenges facing IGAD and other regional blocs in Africa, leaving most of them inefficient and donor-reliant.
This is why I talked about some of the weaknesses that we have, is that total ownership, is that ability of the owners of the organization, which is basically our countries, to be able to budget and own the programs and pay for it and provide total political support for it.
Having finally broken ground for the development of its new headquarters in the port city of Djibouti, the Intergovernmental Organization on Development, IGAD, will now begin sourcing for funds for the development of this new facility, which upon completion will be expected to finally put under one roof the different arms of the organization, including countering violent extremism, migration, and even the secretariat, which have always been scattered in different parts of Djibouti. Victor Kiprop, NTV Business, in the port city of Djibouti.
And back home, the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA now says that it is taking an average of 4 to 5 days for goods transiting from the country to Uganda and Rwanda following the introduction of real-time cargo tracking. The taxman says the regional electronic cargo tracking system, which integrates tracking platforms in Kenya, Uganda and Rwanda, has reduced the transit time from an average of 21 days in 2017 to less than 5 days. Through this system, trucks are fitted with GPRS-enabled electronic seals which relay real-time movements of units and, in case of a breach on the seal, relay details to the centralized monitoring center where prompt action is taken. The authority hosted the Secretary General of the World's Customs Union Organizations, Dr. Kunio Mukuria, who lauded the government for crafting a single system to be used in the region to curb cargo diversion.
The regional electronic cargo tracking system, which has significantly reduced the transit times through the country. Now cargo is able to transit within 36 hours if flow of traffic is smooth. Cargo scanning is actually an initiative that has enabled us to reduce on physical verification, thereby speeding up cargo clearance, and then also for us to focus on high-risk cargo.
And currently, African continent is moving towards a continental free trade area, and the customs is always a driving power. Therefore, that use of modern technology and the latest technology is very important to move forward with African as one big market. Therefore,
and that report takes us to the close of business. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
Molfix's breathable surface, developed with airsoft technology, is very soft and provides the best Molfix skincare.
I found the best diaper for my baby's sensitive skin.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
Prepare yourself for a new live bet experience. Top minute, boosted live bet odds. Mozart, make a decision.
Welcome to our big family. You see, in this family, we have fun together and we look out for each other because we care. We share whatever we have. We protect and support each other. Welcome home, where we love and care for each other. We're so excited that you're joining us.
Welcome to the new member of our Nivea family. New Nivea Petroleum Jelly Essence, enriched with glycerin for long-lasting moisture and protection.
Welcome back to NTV Tonight. We continue with that tragedy from Kakamega now.
That's right. We can cross over live to the Kakamega County Referral Hospital once again. Now we can connect with our reporter Oko Okusa, who joins our team there. Okusa, it's been about an hour or so since we got an update from Kakamega. What can you tell us now?
Yes, Smriti, as we are speaking now, we've just seen one of the students being wheeled out of the hospital here. It's not clear where they are taking that particular student, but we suspect it must be one of the pupils who was in the ICU. We yet to establish that one, but we've seen actually two of them being wheeled out. Remember, two students were being treated in the ICU out of the 39 that were injured, and we are also made to understand that 20 were treated and discharged. Right now we are here still at the hospital waiting for a brief from the regional commissioner, that is Anne Ngetich, together with the county police commander, that is Peris Kimani. They're somewhere behind. They are still just trying to gather information as to what could have happened or what could have actually caused the stampede. We are also made to understand that they've been talking to the head teacher of the school. Remember, there's been a lot of speculation coming out of the school regarding what really triggered this stampede. A lot of speculation. There are some people saying that a teacher sort of the people saw a teacher with a cane and they thought that they were going to strike them and decided to run away. But we are yet to establish exactly from the school what really caused the stampede. So that is what we are waiting for here, an official brief from the regional commissioner here any moment from now. But as we speak, of course, there's a lot of parents distraught, hysterical, anxious parents thronging here, the Kakamega County Referral Hospital, just to find out the position of their children. In the ward, quite a number of, we'll call it a disorderly chaos. in the wards there witnessed parents just jostling and trying to find out what is really happening. Earlier on, there were several leaders, local leaders who came here, Member of Parliament of Kakamega and Shelley from Mumias, who came to just find out what was happening, and they're saying there that they are actually asking people to stop speculating and wait for investigations being conducted by the DCI and, of course, the relevant security teams that are already have embarked on the investigation to ascertain what really transpired. So we are looking at 13 dead, though we are getting unconfirmed reports that they could be 14 because another pupil was taken to a private hospital called Nala, and we are also made to understand that that particular pupil could have passed on, but we're yet to really get the exact information. That is why we are still waiting for the regional commissioner here to give us the exact number or the figure of the pupils who could have perished in this unfortunate tragedy. Back to you, Smriti.
Okusa, before you leave, as it was earlier, we were told it's 14 confirmed dead and 40 who are injured and being treated. You've spoken about 20 who have been treated and discharged. This is just from Kakamega Referral Hospital. What about the numbers from the Nala Hospital?
Yes, as I've mentioned there, Mark, Nala, we are only made to understand that one pupil was rushed there, and actually it's the first pupil who was rushed from the scene of this particular accident and was taken to Nala Hospital, and we are getting unconfirmed reports there that that pupil could have passed on. So we are looking at 14 if it is true that that particular pupil died, but because here at the Kakamega Referral Hospital we are talking of 13 pupils who perished here. But of course, as I mentioned there before, 39 were injured. That is the figure we have now until we talk to the RC, that is the regional commissioner, but we are talking of 39 injured, 20 treated and discharged, and of course the remaining number still recuperating in the ward. So that is the figure we have as at now. Of course, we'll be getting the exact one from the regional commissioner and the authorities who are still gathering more information behind me here. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Okusa, thanks very much for that update. NTV's Oko Okusa coming to us live from the Kakamega County Referral Hospital, bringing us up to date with the latest figures with regard to that tragedy at the Kakamega Primary School. All right, you're watching NTV Tonight. At this point, it's time for another break. The sports news is next.
Do you know what makes my cooking fun? It's having a partner who shares my passion for healthy cooking. Avena, the new premium vegetable cooking oil, contains omega-6 and 9 and is fortified with vitamins A and D. Lunch! Thanks, partner. New Avena premium vegetable cooking oil. Now available in all leading stores.
Your multi-bet is on its way to hit the bullseye. Oh, you lose one match, but only in Mozart. Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Juzi tu nilishikwa na polisi nikiwa nimebeba abiria wawili na pikipiki moja. Akaniuliza, kijana, mbona unabeba abiria wawili na pikipiki moja? Pikipiki inafaa ibebe abiria mmoja. Nikamwambia, afande, nimebeba tu abiria mmoja. Akaniuliza, kijana, na huyo mwingine? Nikamwambia, afande, huyo mwingine ni conductor.
Avena contains omega-6 and 9 and is fortified with vitamins A and D. New Avena Premium Vegetable Cooking Oil. Now available in all leading stores.
Okash is the fastest and easiest way to apply for short-term loans from your mobile phone. You can borrow up to 50,000 Kenya shillings instantly into your M-Pesa account and become a member of the Okash loyalty program to apply for discounted loans. Okash is an award-winning mobile loan service and is trusted by millions of Kenyans every day. Download the Okash application from Google Play Store and enjoy easy, safe and flexible way to apply for short-term loans. Welcome to the Okash experience.
Uko na msichana wa kazi?
Niko naye, mbona unauliza?
Ndinda, unataka kuniambia unakunywa pombe kwa nyumba yangu? Toka, toka, toka.
You mean to say that I am suffering from postpartum depression? Yes.
Wewe ni jina nani unashout hivyo?
Ai, sasa juko na gari sitajwe jina.
Hata sio yake. Hata sio yake. Karibu kutoroka uone. Kutoroka uone. Hebu toa mshipi na kiatu.
NTV Sport in association with Mozart Bet. SMS NTV to 29990.
A very good evening to you. Time for the latest in the world of sport. I'm Ida Warenga. And the Football Kenya Federation unveiled a reconstituted electoral board on Monday in accordance with the Sports Dispute Tribunal ruling. Now, barring any legal issues, this unveiling should signal the start of the election process that's expected to deliver national polls on or before March 30th. NTV's Joshua Makori with more.
The FKF Electoral Board was unveiled today here at Kandanda House, and the chairperson is Kentis Tikolo. The former Wazito FC chairperson was unveiled alongside Secretary Patrick Onyango and members Ali Hassan Kauleni, Alfred Ndinya and Samuel Karanja.
We want to assure the country that we are taking this process very, very seriously. And we want to ensure that it's going to be a transparent and very, very open process. We want to make sure that the public is involved as it should. Our first assignment is going to be to put together the electoral calendar. And this calendar is going to be put together based on the FIFA requirement that we must have elections by 30th of March.
The polls will start at county level, then proceed to national and finally sub-county levels.
The sub-counties is absolutely elaborate because you'd be talking about each and every constituency. So we're talking about 290 elections going on. And so that's not a rule of the board. It's a constitution that we are following.
Now, there has been a misconception that we went to Zurich. We did not. That was the intended plan for this office and the office of the CS to travel to Zurich. However, through the intervention of the CS, and we are really grateful for this, is that we found solutions to our problems, which then mean that elections will be held before 30th, which FIFA required, and will be guided by the FKF constitution and FKF membership. So we are clear on that.
Yeshua Makori, NTV, Kandanda House, Nairobi.
Thanks for that, Joshua. And still on football, defending champions Gor Mahia are perched at the top of the Kenyan Premier League after extending their win record to 4 in a row with victory over Nzoia Sugar. Now, Kogalu seem to have found a scoring machine in freshman Juma Balinya after Ivorian Yikpe Gislane's departure. The former younger man scored a brace in Machakos. Now, meanwhile, second-placed Kakamega Homeboys lost crucial points in a 1-1 draw with poor form Wazito. The western-based side are now 4 points behind Gor, as Wazito sit 14th on the log. KCB took advantage of Tasker's cancelled match against relegated Sony and climbed to 3rd after outscoring Zoo FC. Lindsay, on the other hand, dropped to 5th with a loss to AFC Leopards, who currently are 6th with 34 points. Kariobangi Sharks improved to 12th after thumping relegation-bound Kisumu All-Stars 8-1 at Kasarani. Well, from the Kenyan Premier League to the Kenya Cup, where Kabras Sugar finished game week 13 at the summit of the Kenya Cup standings, a point above champions KCB thanks to a 56-13 win over Mwamba. Now the Bankers completed a double over Harlequins, beating them 29-3 to maintain second place with 59 points, while their counterparts languish in 10th. Third-placed Homeboys thrashed Nakuru RFC 47-5, who still hold on to a playoff position at 6th on the log. Menengai Oilers bounced back to winning ways, beating Western Bulls 43-17 in Nakuru to maintain 5th position. Black Blood punished 4th placed Impala at the university grounds to improve to 9th. Relegation-bound Kisumu RFC, however, didn't participate in this round owing to a road accident as they traveled to face off against Nondis. No serious injuries were reported. And the Kansas City Chiefs staged a stunning comeback to beat San Francisco 49ers at 31-20 in Miami and win their first Super Bowl in 50 years. It was a Super Bowl that arguably delivered during halftime as well. After 2019's Maroon 5 performance failed to inspire, the organizers turned to Shakira and Jennifer Lopez to deliver an all-female co-headline show. The show also incorporated a tribute to basketball legend Kobe Bryant, who died alongside his daughter and 7 others in a helicopter crash last weekend.
Williams makes a cut.
Well, back to England, and Tottenham Hotspur beat Manchester City 2-0 in the English Premier League, with Spurs boss Jose Mourinho one-upping old foe Pep Guardiola. Now, one moment in particular, so the Portuguese come into focus. Mourinho was celebrating Hugo Lloris's penalty save on City's Ilkay Gundogan, but was reminded that referee Mike Dean didn't book City's Raheem Sterling, who was already on 1 yellow card for a second dive. Jose's 0-100 reaction makes our moment of the weekend.
Show the reaction of Jose Mourinho when Hugo Lloris saved the penalty.
Yeah, so they're happy now. I think that now they're going to see that it says no penalty, so they're happy. But then his assistant starts winding him up about the yellow card. It should be a yellow card. And now look at Jose. This is awesome. This is brilliant.
Shouldn't laugh, right? You shouldn't laugh. But...
I just love it. It's just his reaction. Look. He's gone from 0 to 10 in like 2 seconds.
Blame his assistant.
His assistant knows his buttons.
Oh, madness.
Vintage Jose Mourinho, definitely one for the books there. That wraps it up on Sports. I'm Ida Waringa. I'm giving it back to Mark and Smriti.
NTV Sport in association with MozartBet. SMS NTV to 29990.
Mozart Refund, lose one game, get your cash back. Make a decision. Terms and conditions apply.
Does it for NTV tonight. Thank you to Flora Tieno for the sign language interpretation. And yes, we'll be following up on that story, the tragedy in Kakamega.
Most definitely. But in the meantime, our deepest condolences go out to all those affected. We leave it at that. Thanks for watching. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi. Good night.